Welcome to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 117, The Confidential Job Search. I never get tired of doing my intro. I still love doing this show, 117 episodes. So cool. I still have so much love and energy for it. And I was talking to a prospect the other day about my program, and he said he had listened to the show, and it just makes me so happy when I get feedback from people and know that they are listening. So thank you guys for finding me, whether you're new or have been here before. Please do take a moment, give the show a rating and review, as I always ask on Apple. I say it a lot because it is so helpful and so crucial for a podcast. Apple is pretty much king when it comes to podcasts and growing and getting found. So please take a moment to give a rating, maybe even a review. It takes a minute or so, and I would really appreciate it as I give this show freely as much as I can, at least twice a month, sometimes more, on Mondays. So I'm doing wonderful. It has been a robust 2022, record-breaking, in fact. I'm getting some other coaches up and trained and kind of taking some of the pressure off myself a little bit. So many clients right now. It's really an exciting time at Career Uprising, and I think 2022 is an exciting year. Still challenging, but we're going in the right direction. So today's topic is one that comes up quite frequently with a lot of clients, and it came up recently in a coaching session, so I felt compelled to do a show on it, all about how to launch a confidential job search. And this is not something we've really talked about, but a lot of people do ask me about it because most people that I'm working with are currently employed. So that presents a little bit of a challenge when you are trying to job search, because the name of the game really is visibility, right? And outreach and being seen. That's how you land a job. So how do you do that when you're also trying to not be seen at the same time by your current employer? So I will say, at least if there's any benefit to being unemployed, it would be that, at least that you have the freedom to be open and direct in your job search and, network with whoever you need to network or post something on social media. Sometimes that can be a good thing. You can go all in. So what I'm going to do today is outline for you 6 fabulous tips that will help you to launch a confidential but effective job search, because it absolutely can be done. I don't typically recommend anyway that people blast it out there, seeking new opportunities and that kind of thing. I really don't want to do that for the most part anyway. So that's fine, but there are other ways that you can get the word out without getting the word out, if you know what I mean. So let's dive in and let's do the first 3, and then we'll take a quick break and come back and do the last 3. And some of these may seem small, but I think that the sum of all of these done together will go a long way. So number 1, don't show your connections on LinkedIn. So what I mean is that LinkedIn gives you the opportunity to choose who sees your connections, and you can hide it so that only you can see who you are connected to. So the reason this might be beneficial is because oftentimes part of your job search strategy is probably going to be connecting with hiring managers or recruiters at companies that you are interested in, or at staffing agencies. So if you're also connected to your boss and coworkers and things like that, they can see your connections, and you may not want that. So I would go to your privacy settings and make sure that only you can see your connections. It's easy. It just takes a second. And if you want to test it out, just click on a few different profiles of people that you have a first degree connection with. And it might take a handful of people, but eventually you're going to hit somebody who, for some reason, you can't see any of their connections, because there's usually a link right kind of below their profile photo where it lets you click on their connections and see how many they have. But some people, you won't be able to do that, even though you are directly connected. So the difference is in their personal privacy settings. Okay, so check that out. And these are all the kinds of things that I do in coaching sessions. I do screen sharing and LinkedIn tutorials where we dig in and get in there and make these changes so that you know how to do this on your own, because it's much easier to be shown than described. But all right, step 2. Don't share your profile changes when updating your profile. A lot of people don't like to do this anyway. Most people that I work with prefer to turn this feature off so that LinkedIn isn't notifying everyone of all their changes to their profile and things like that. So luckily, LinkedIn has actually updated this feature over the years, and the default setting is now to have it off, where the default before was to have it on, and people didn't even realize it. So I have a feeling they must have gotten a lot of feedback on that one, because they actually changed it. So it's really not that likely now anyway that LinkedIn's going to notify people of changes to your profile. But again, it's a good idea to go into that setting. All right. And change that. There's a little button that you can toggle when you click the little button to edit your profile. It's the little pencil. There is a button that you can toggle on and off about sharing profile updates and status changes and things like that. So I do want you to update your profile, though, and make it nice and robust and attractive before you start your job search. You don't want old, out of date, stale information or photos on there. So review the information. Make sure it's accurate, add any new information or skills that you have acquired, accomplishments, and so on. LinkedIn profiles are, I really believe this, more likely to get read than cover letters at this point, at least for most industries and most types of work. Again, sometimes it depends on what you do, but for the most part, a LinkedIn profile is even more important than a cover letter. So do update it so that it can be found in searches, but you don't necessarily have to have those changes announced to everybody. Okay. Number 3, share your career interests privately with recruiters. So a few years ago, LinkedIn created a feature called Open Candidates that allows you to privately share that you are looking for work with those who have a LinkedIn recruiter account and minus your current employer. All right. So nothing is published on your public profile for this, and your present employer is excluded, at least to the best of their ability. So to try it out, go to your profile, click on the button that says Open To. It's right under your profile photo. That will open up a new menu, and you can select recruiters only, or says something similar in terms of who sees your job status. So you can fill out a little profile saying what kind of job you're open to and what you want to be found for, and then you can choose who sees it, everybody or recruiters only. So I would at least do recruiters only, because that's still a very reasonable amount of privacy in there, but you're still letting the right people see it. And I think it's probably pretty unlikely that your present employer is going to see it. I mean, there's no guarantee, but I think that's a pretty safe way to go to at least give you some visibility, but not blast anything out there publicly. So it's a good compromise. All right. Those are the first 3. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I still have 3 more specific tips for you about how you can launch a confidential job search. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we're on a break for a minute, and I want to tell you about something exciting going on at careeruprising.com. I have an online store that I created just for you. It has a variety of low-cost resources that will give you the boost that you need in your career. And they offer a great introduction to what it would be like to coach with me. I've got ebooks, meditations, and other resources for you to take advantage of and start getting help today. These products are instantly downloadable, priced incredibly low, and cover many aspects of career transitions. head on over now to the store while you're listening to the show. It's at careeruprising.com/store. That's careeruprising.com/store. Now let's get back to the show. All right, we still have 3 more tips here to work through. So number 4 is rely on your network. I know I sound like a broken record sometimes when I stress the importance of relying on your network and talking to people that you know about opportunities that you are interested in. But it becomes even more critical to do this when you are trying to do a low-tech job search and not broadcast your status online. You can job search offline, so to speak. And honestly, that's what I recommend for people anyway. I think that's just good advice in general. You're going to be scheduling phone calls, lunches, Zoom meetings, coffee dates, whatever it is, with people that you know when you want to have conversations about your job search. So rather than using social media, have one-on-one conversations. All right. This is already one of the most effective strategies for landing a new position anyway. But there's an added benefit here is because it's more confidential. So in my coaching, I teach clients how to make a list of their top 10 to 15 contacts and reach out, schedule calls, reconnect, or stay in touch with people you've already been speaking to and talk to them about your search. Share with them what your goals are, get their advice, their insights, their recommendations. There's a specific framework that I just kind of referenced there with the advice, insights, and recommendations that I teach clients. I teach you what to say, what questions to ask, and it's very, very effective. We're actually going to go into that in more detail at a future show here in just a couple of weeks. But instead of posting online about your job search, which is really not the best way to go anyway, I want you to call and email your contacts one-on-one and engage them in your job search privately. So that's a perfect segue into number 5. While you're having these conversations, number 5 is that I want you to tell your network that your search is confidential. This may sound simple, but people don't really think about it. It's one simple thing that I think that you can do to help keep things on the down low. For example, if someone that you know is maybe going to help you out and share your resume, you may want to emphasize to them that your search is confidential and you'd like to know ahead of time who your resume is going to be sent to, just to make sure that it's okay. Sometimes you may know some of the same people as them. Your network probably crosses over and they could inadvertently send your resume or just share the information of your job search with someone that you didn't want to know that information because you know some of the same people. So there's nothing wrong with saying something that sounds like this. Thank you so much for helping me in my search. And just to confirm, this is a confidential search. So if you could let me know ahead of time, anyone you might be sharing my information or my resume to, that would be really appreciated. I'm just trying to control who this information gets out to. I think that's very, very reasonable. So try that and just emphasize to people that your search is confidential. I wouldn't necessarily assume that they know that. They probably do, but it is worth mentioning if it's that important to you, certainly. All right, number 6. This is so basic, you guys. But, and maybe it doesn't matter as much these days with people working from home. I don't know. But number 6 is do not use or limit the use of your work email and computer for job search activity. Again, I know it sounds obvious, but not necessarily. People use their work email and work computers for job searching more than you think. I've had people do coaching sessions with me, video calls from their work. And depending on what company you work for, that might be okay. But there really is no guarantee of privacy this way. And who knows if your company monitors things like that, you might not want to take any chances. So unless you're certain that it won't be an issue, I would recommend trying to use your personal computer as much as you can for your job search activity. And like I said, I know this might limit you to nights and weekends, so just try to find a balance and be intentional about what you use your work computer or your work email for so that it's not too obvious or specific in nature. And, now with people working from home, maybe it actually is easier because you've got your work computer there at home, and you've got your personal computer, which you can put right next to it. So you can easily just swivel your chair around and use a different computer because you have them both there, whereas in the past, you might not have your work computer or your personal computer at work. So, so maybe that actually makes it easier, because I know it's not convenient to just, relinquish your job search to nights and weekends. That's probably not realistic. You're going to be tired and not have a lot of time then. So, so at least maybe there's an opportunity there, but something for you to be mindful of, for sure. Okay. I hope those tips helped you, and I'd love to coach with you. Please do reach out. Now is a great time. People are getting jobs. I just had a new success story from another late career client that had been working with at the end of last year. So good things are happening, and I have payment plans to help you afford it. I can customize a program for you. Don't let the cost get in the way of getting the help that you need. Okay. Or use your tax refund, whatever you got to do. But I'm here to help you. My team is here to help you. We're growing and expanding, and I hope that you will join us. So go to careeruprising.com. You can listen to more podcasts. All of them are there. My blog, which I've actually been blogging a lot more. I've got several fresh articles. So if you haven't checked that out in the last couple of weeks, even, there are new articles there as well. I've been cranking out that content for everybody. So, all right, that's it. I will be back in a week, probably 2 weeks, with another new show. Thanks, guys. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show was brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.